Number one, Loham stumbles to the side. Wait, it's Kermit the Hog running away with it into the bottle. Gonna go to the bladder. Kermit out front. We're going to be running 3 teams of pigs for you here today. Coming out right now will be the men's team. Also be running the women's team and our amateur international team, pigs from around the world. That'll be the Olympics. Now, as you can see, these are not the average pig you'd find on the farm. They're highly trained, highly specialized, genuine Midwestern thorough pigs. Thinking of the sleek snout, aerodynamic design lets them cut right through the wind. Unlike the high-paid, high-priced athletes of today, they're not going to run for greed or glory, not going to run to see their name in lights. They're going to run for one thing and one thing only, the ultimate reward to the racing pig, a Nabisco Oreo cookie. Is already in there? There they go, making it into the starting end into the first turn. Who's it going to be? Number 4, Kermit the Hog out in the early lead, send the pace down the straightaway into the final corner to the bladder. Still number 4, Kermit the Hog to the cookie, and he takes it home. There they go, making it into the starting end. Cheer him out, make a little bit of noise for him into the first turn. Help him out, number 2. Who is it? Hamma, passed up on the outside. Loham running from the cops, but she's wobbling. I think she's been in the barbecue sauce. Round the turn to the platter. Loham runs right by the cookie. So does Hamma Montana. But wait, number 2, Hamma Montana takes it home. There they go, making into this turning. It looks like Schwarzenegger out in the early lead, setting the pace around the corner. He's running away with it too, down the straightaway. 40 Smoky Wings. Here comes Salman. Not going to get it done though. Schwarzenegger eats the cookie. Cheer mom, making a little bit of noise into the first turn. Help him out. Who's it going to be? Number 1, Loham. Stumbles to the side. Wait, it's Kermit the Hog running away with it into the bottle. Coming to the bladder. Kermit out front, headed to the cookie. Number 4, Kermit the Hog for the men's team. Give them a big round of applause. Give yourselves 1, 2. We'd like to thank you all for coming out to the Washington County Fair.
My name is Doug Berglund. I'm the Emergency Management Director for Washington County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you been in the position?
I've been in this position for 6 months. I've worked for the county for 2.5 years.
Okay, great. Well, what have you got here today at the county fair for fairgoers to see?
Well, today we have a variety of things. We have a Go Kit, which we recommend for people to have in their vehicle and at home, and it has FEMA recommended things in there such as flashlight, water, a weather radio, gloves, soup, candy bars. We also have what we call a tornado tube, and that's 2 2-liter bottles that we put together with some food coloring and water in there, and we swirl that together and turn it upside down, It gives the kids a visual of what a tornado looks like, and we use that to foster a discussion on what the children should do when they hear an outdoor warning siren, on where to go in their house, or if they're in a vehicle, and what to do if they see severe weather when they're in their vehicle. And then we also have some pamphlets and coloring books for the kids, and we have some maps and some information regarding Code Red and IPAWS, which are warnings, things that we do for the county through Washington County Dispatch.
Yeah, that Code Red has been in place for a while now. How does the Sheriff's Department feel that's working?
I think it works really well. We get results when messages are sent out. We get report backs of phones that were answered and phones that were reached but unanswered, and we've had very positive feedback with it. Very effective.
Well, so there's no severe weather right now for the county fair, so people should definitely stop by.
Absolutely. Yeah, stop by and stop by the Sheriff's Office corner here and stop by Emergency Management. We'd love to answer questions. And we have some handouts here. We have some really neat keychain flashlights, and we have small first aid kits that we'd love to pass out and talk to the Washington County folks about emergency management.
Well, thanks, Doug. I think you do a great job for the county.
As you can see, lots of things that are happening behind us as well, and I know that you spoke earlier with our emergency operation folks and many of the things that they're trying to educate folks on. Also, we have our Explorers here. Explorers is a volunteer program for young folks to learn about what law enforcement and sheriff's offices are all about. So we sponsor a fast pitch because they try to independently get the money donated so they're able to participate in the various competitions. We have our canine demonstrations that happen as well. Canines are a big part of the Sheriff's Office. We have 6 patrol canines, and we also have 1 narcotic canine. We have our Mounted Patrol folks that are out here. Mounted Patrol is a group of volunteers that help us in a variety of ways. If we have missing persons, they're able to come on out on horseback and look for the person if we have evidence or artifact that we're looking for. And also they participate in educational opportunities for young people as well. So they have play a large part of the Sheriff's Office. We have our fingerprinting that's happening in the back. So we have our correctional officers that come on out and help out printing young folks and also providing some education as well. So we play a big role, and it's, we always have this corner, and we always have either volunteers or paid staff that come on out and try to interact with the folks that are at the fair just to show them what we're all about. We're not all about just a squad car. We're all about helping folks. So.
Wow. Scared at each other's heels. Oh no! Oh no! 360 tire grab! He's getting up there right now. Oh, no good! There's a 360 pounds there! Yeah! Did I mention? Whoa, Walker right there. Quick no footer. One more city in front of people. Oh my goodness. Oh! Oh my goodness! The first thing we're going to perform for you guys today is called the agility test. You see a series of pieces of equipment out on the field. These pieces of equipment are designed to simulate any obstacle the dog may encounter while we're working them on the street. These dogs have to be asked to surmount the obstacle by giving them a command, and the dog has to do it on its own. And this is one thing that we are tested on through our certification process. See those nice hops over the hurdles? The dog kicks his legs out nice and high, and he's rewarded with his tug toy. All these dogs are rewarded on what we call a variable reward system. They're either given a tug like that or a ball, which they love working for, or they're rewarded by praise or with food. So it keeps the training enjoyable for the dog, and it makes the dog really want to work for us. The next obstacle he's going to have the dog go over is what we call a 6-foot wall, or the A-frame. You see this piece of equipment, it looks like it's shaped like an A. It may look simple enough when the dog goes over it, but it is very challenging to get these dogs to want to climb and go over something that big. And then he calls the dog back into the heel position, and he's looking for his toy for doing that for us. Very good. The next thing he's going to do is called the broad jump. So you see the 6 boards out there, that's 6 feet across. The dog is going to be in a sitting position, and he's going to hop right over that piece of equipment there. That's designed to simulate if the dog had to jump over a wide gap, maybe a creek bed or something similar to that. And he goes into the heel position looking for that toy reward. Nice job, Murphy. The final thing he's going to have the dog go through is what we call the crawl. The crawl is to simulate maybe a deck or a tunnel, some sort of confined space that we need the dog to go through to get to where they need to go. Very good. Very nice. Like I said, this is part of our certification process. Everything we do with our dogs has to be certified, so when our dogs perform for us in the street, if they find bad guys or if they find evidence, something like that, we have to have these dogs tested by independent parties that say that these dogs are capable of doing the things that we ask them to do. So when we go to court, we can produce our certification, say the dog's been tested and certified on all these types of events, and that they're able to do what we're saying they're performing for us. The next thing we're going to have perform for you is what is called obedience. Now, obedience is the groundwork and the framework for all the training we do. Everything we do requires control and obedience with the dog. So if you don't have an obedient dog and you don't have control of them, it's pretty much impossible to train them to do anything. So obedience is of the utmost importance to us. What Deputy Howard and Blaze are going to do here is what we call a heeling. Deputy Howard is just going to give the dog the heel command, and he's going to walk around, and everywhere that Deputy Howard walks, that dog is going to be attentive to where he's going and constantly be at his side. This is another part of our certification. We have to do a series of obedience exercises with the dog off lead. We're only allowed to give him 1 command for each exercise, and the dog has to just simply follow everything that we're doing. So after he's done healing him here, he's going to do what we call walking control. So he's going to give the dog a series of commands, either down, sit, or stay. And that dog's going to go into that position and stay there until he commands the dog to do anything else. And you can see these dogs are always working for that toy. They love those Kongs. So he's going to down his dog. And Blaze is going to stay there and attentively watch Deputy Howard until he gives him the command to pick him up. And he'll about turn and sit his dog. He'll about turn and pick it up again. And then the final thing you'll do is about turn and stand the dog. And then you'll pick him up and finish. And then the dog will get his reward. Very nice. Now, the final obedience exercise he's going to perform for us is what we call distance control. These dogs are trained to go out and search areas with us off lead, so they'll be away from the handler. The dog always has to be attentive to what the handler's doing. The handler may give him a series of voice commands or hand commands to have the dog either search in a certain direction, down, or come to him. Very nice. The next thing we're going to have is it Deputy Land's going to come out and run his dog on the boxes? Okay, Deputy Howard's going to do that for us. Once we have all the obedience and framework established with these dogs and we have control over them, we start moving into our scent work. These dogs are all trained in detecting human odor. What we have on the field here are 3 white boxes. Normally we have 6. We'll put a person inside this box, one of the 6 boxes, and the dog has to examine each box. You see there's little slits cut in them. They examine those slots. They can detect the human odor, and when they detect the human odor, they're trained to bark for us and tell us that the bad guy is hiding or where he's hiding, and then he's rewarded with his toy. As everyone is sitting here right now, everyone is giving off skin cells. You're shedding skin cells. Everyone does it constantly. There's nothing you can do to control that. It just happens. And that is what is the human odor that we train these dogs to detect. So when somebody is hiding from us or runs from us, the dog is able to detect that human odor and follow that scent and tell us where the bad guy's hiding. If it falls on the ground, they're trained to track it. If they're hidden in a building behind a door or wherever, the dog will find that odor and bark at the source of it and tell us where the bad guy's hiding. You see Blaze check that slot. He detected that human odor, and he's telling Deputy Howard that the bad guy's in that box right there. You can definitely see, sometimes the dogs won't bark like he is, but you can definitely read the dog and see that behavior change in the dog and see that that dog is telling you that there's a bad guy in that box. Very nice. Like I said, we'll use these dogs and search buildings. If a bad guy decides that he's going to burglarize a building or commit some sort of crime, a lot of times these people will use weapons, and it can be very dangerous for police officers or deputies. So we'll use these dogs. We'll deploy them into the building. The dog will go in and find that bad guy and tell us where he is before we even have to put officers or deputies' lives in danger. So that dog will go in there, search that entire building, and say, hey, the bad guy's behind this door, so we know exactly where he is and keeps us out of danger. And with that, these dogs are trained to apprehend as well. We use these dogs as locating tools. That's their main purpose. We'll track missing people. We'll track bad guys. They recover evidence. Your human odor can transfer onto articles that someone may drop. And that's what they're used for, as locating tools. But they will apprehend if it is necessary. The next thing we're going to have Deputy Land perform for us is narcotics detection. All of our 6 patrol dogs that work at the Sheriff's Office are dual trained in narcotics detection. So what he's going to show us here is he's going to search this vehicle here. You see this car. There is an illegal substance hidden somewhere on that car, and he's going to deploy Murphy to find those drugs for us. Murphy is a passive alerting dog, so when he finds that source of the controlled substance, he goes into a sit. You see that? The dog detected that odor, and he got really excited, and then he gets rewarded. So he alerted right there on the tire area of that vehicle. Inside the hubcap is a small amount of marijuana. So as soon as that dog got into that odor, you saw his behavior change, and he went into that sit, and he gets his reward. Like I said, we have 6 patrol dogs within the Sheriff's Office. All 6 of them service every city throughout Washington County. And they're all dual purpose, so they're both patrol dogs as well as narcotics detector dogs. We also have one single purpose lab, which is also a detector dog. The next thing we're going to have, we're going to demonstrate for you guys is criminal apprehension. So like I said, these dogs are trained to apprehend for us. We train them to apprehend people on their right arm. However, if that is not available, they also will apprehend other parts of the body as well, but we primarily train them to apprehend on the right arm. You can see Deputy Howard here walking around with that black thing on his arm. That's what we call a jute sleeve. It's made out of a material called jute. It keeps the teeth of the dog from puncturing through the material into your arm. However, you still feel the pressure and the pain from these dog bites. It is not a pleasant feeling, and it is painful, but it does protect the arm. So Deputy Howard here is going to be our bad guy, and Deputy Land is going to confront him. And if Deputy Howard decides to do anything silly, we wear a remote on our belt, which opens the door, and the dog can come out and apprehend the bad guy for us. You see that nice full mouth bite? The dog will bite onto the arm and lock on, and he doesn't release until he's commanded to by the handler. Murphy's a little bit excited today. He doesn't want to let the bad guy go.
All right, I'm going to let our Forest Lake area celebrity introduce himself, if you don't know who he is.
Sure, I'm Mike Muron. I'm one of the agriculture teachers and FFA advisors at Forest Lake High School.
And the name sounds familiar. Well, you guys have been very, very active in Washington County, including your father, current county commissioner up in the Forest Lake area, Hugo, and a former mayor, and in a lot of sisters who have been beauty queens, right? What do they call
Princess K of the Milky Way. Yeah,
Give me the exact.
yeah, two of my sisters and a sister-in-law actually. So yeah, they're much more famous and popular than I've ever been. But yeah, certainly.
Mike, you always hear 4-H and FFA. Get into detail exactly what that is.
Sure, yeah, FFA, kind of like 4-H, we have an agricultural roots and agricultural background. FFA is an intercurricular program, meaning students have to be enrolled in agriculture education courses at either the junior highs or the high school to be involved in FFA. And once they're in FFA, that's a program that's run through the public school system. There's chapters throughout the state of Minnesota. We actually are neighboring schools in Chisago, Anoka Hennepin School District, Stillwater. Those areas have FFA chapters and agriculture programs as well. But we're offering a lot of career development events, career opportunities related to the field of agriculture, food, and fiber. So students can participate in wildlife programs, they can participate in forestry type programs, as well as animal sciences, small animal sciences, greenhouse, plant science, all those different areas related to our food and fiber systems.
Will the vast majority or all of them go into some area?
We hope so. We hope that
you see.
Yeah, we hope they pursue careers in agriculture, and a lot of our students don't realize the broad opportunities that there are in agriculture. People think of farming, and certainly coming from a farm, that's important, and we want production agriculture to be important, but there's a whole lot of employment, and there's a whole lot of opportunity that exists to support that food and fiber system beyond what happens in a field or what happens in a barn someplace. And if they don't pursue a career in agriculture, we know at the very least they're going to be consumers. And certainly we want students and young people and families to be educated about their food and the products that come from production agriculture as well. It's important to our state's economy, and we want to help support knowledge and literacy in that area too.